come on now, whip and shout. Come on, drill with me. And let's have some laugh. Hey, welcome to Mickey and my channel, Craft. I'm Hilda, your host. This is my first whip and chat of 2021, and it won't be the last one. And I hope you have some fun, because what we're going to talk about many aspects of my life that have been funny and sad at the same time. I just want you to get me to know me a little better, and let's start it. And most of them is going to be about English, my English blunders, because English is my second language, if you haven't noticed it yet. I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born in San Juan, but I was raised on the West. I studied on the South, and I got married on the South. So I ran a pretty part of the island. I'm still trying to fix my camera the best way. Well, my phone camera, because my camera hasn't arrived yet. Excuse me. So let's see. When I first started here in the United States, that was in 1979. My mother, even though I love her very much, I don't hold any grudges against her, or let me clarify that, or, I always kept in contact with her. I try to help her any way I can and everything. I wasn't one of those little kids that hold grudges against their parents for what they did, and because no parents is perfect. But my mother used to be very possessive. I'm talking about she would change the doors. She would lock the door so I don't go out with my friends. So growing up, it was hard for me to socialize. And especially when we had to move in. One time we had to move 17 times because my father was alcoholic, and they got into this fight and break everything. So every time they broke something in the house, they were asked to move out. So growing up was hard, especially for me to socialize. Maybe that's why, because I'm a little shy most of the time. I have loosened up a little bit since I've been in YouTube most of my life. Usually if you don't get hold of me or give me, try to show me your trust, or, contact me first, I won't do it. But it's not because whether I don't like you or hold anything against personal you. It's because of those issues when I was growing up. So my mother used to change the door so I don't go out. And on my 15th birthday, because in Puerto Rico they celebrate on my 15th, she made me a dress in my favorite color, but she made it with long sleeve and a neck, and a high neck all the way to my neck. I mean, she wanted to turn me in and on, which I find funny now. But I was going so crazy about that time that I made a mistake. Well, you can say made a mistake, but from an error, good things can come out. I have experienced that in my personal life. So I got married young, 19 years old, my first marriage. And one thing, I got divorced after 5 years. You'll find out why later. But one thing that I owe him about that first marriage is he was born in Puerto Rico, but he was raised in the United States all his life. He was kind of a New Yorican. And one thing I owe him is that he spoke to me in English all the time. He told me, you're going to have to learn to speak it, okay? By the way, the one that I'm using is Dream Big. Remember I told you that? So he spoke me in English all the time. He didn't allow me to see any TV in Spanish. There was this program back then in 1979. It was some Cuban Americans. It's regarding Cubans leaving the island and coming to the United States. And it was called Que Pasa USA. And The program was kind of Spanish English sometimes, and he didn't want to watch me that because he said I was gonna get confused. And I'm gonna be honest with you. At the beginning, I couldn't stand shit what you guys were talking about because you talk too fast to me that I have to, like look at you like, huh? What the hell you just said? Now that I try to talk fast as you, then I commit more blunders. I should speak slow. So, he didn't let me watch, but he put me to watch the news, and he told me to watch the lips moving when they were speaking, and then he would put me to watch programs like back then that some of them they're showing today. Happy Days, MASH was awful for me, but I ended up liking it because of the jokes. I couldn't understand crap about the jokes. Okay, so that went on for about 6 months. Okay. Here comes my first blunder. After 6 months, and so I will go out and acquire the confidence of speaking outside and stuff like that. Oh, he would allow me to ask something in Spanish, and then he will translate for me in English, right? There was no problem with that. He just didn't want to watch me because he said you got to adapt your ears to it. And I'm going to go back a little bit before I continue. I was raised, my first 9, from kinder to 9th grade, 8th grade, I should say. I was in Catholic school. And the English teacher was this North American. She won't speak a bit in Spanish, but I won't speak nothing in English in the class. I mean, I was so afraid that the other girls laugh at me that I didn't speak, but writing was no problem. But she was very nice, and when she found me the second time I got married, and she told me, when you go to the United States, don't be afraid to speak it. Don't worry about people laughing. She gave me all kinds of advice. I told her, well, I already been there. And I made a whole bunch of blunders. And I was blessed about people helping me. So that was it. She was a very nice North American lady. And she won't speak a word of Spanish in the class. Because if you're going to learn a new language, how the hell are you going to learn English by speaking to you in Spanish? It's okay for you to ask a question if you don't understand it. And like in myself in Spanish, hey, I don't understand this in English, like I did to my ex-husband. But you gotta adapt your ears to the language. You cannot be around Spanish-speaking people if you want to learn to speak in English, right? And you wanted to loosen up. But I was always a daredevil, I wasn't afraid of it. So after 6 months, he got me loose, right? So we went to this supermarket, right? And I didn't know what pork chops were back then, and I went to the meat side. I think it was a Pathmark or ShopRite. Those supermarkets were having huge. They were huge right here in Pennsylvania. Well, actually, when I came to the United States, I live in Harrison, New Jersey, which is close to Newark. It's just a bridge to cross it. So I live in New Jersey for a while. And I went to the meat market. I'm laughing because I remember clearly the look in the face of the guy. And and there was this pork chop that they were too thick, and I always like thin pork chop, the center cut, and because I like them crispy, right? So I didn't know, and my husband was close, but he wasn't close enough, and but then he realized my mistake, and I told the guy, "Hey, can you cut these chulettes in half?" And he was looking at me like, "What the hell you come from?" Chulettes, okay? Because I didn't know how to say pork chop, so I said chulettes, and my husband, realizing what was going on, he came and pinched me and said, "Well, you didn't ask me. You didn't know what pork chops or chulettes in English word, which is pork chops." And but the look at the guy in his eyes, it just like, he wasn't mad. He was like appalled. He was like, "Well, what the hell you come from?" Maybe nowadays I will probably get a hate look, but that was my first blunder. And from now then, I learned how to ask him when we're going out, "Hey, listen, I'm going to buy this." Oh, and not only that, when we went to the register, remember back then we didn't have these scans through and nothing like that. And when the lady said, blah, 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 I couldn't understand how much was the total of the, so can you show me the price on the register? I can't understand what you're saying. And then she looked at me like, and this weirdo. And she showed me the total of the food shopping. So that was one of my first blunders. So remember, chulettes equal pork chops. And the thing is, I went on for 6 more months. And at one point, I have a sprain back. And they took me to the emergency room. Here comes another blunder. And they trying to take me x-rays on my lower back because I couldn't straighten it out. And they were asking me to put half of my body in certain position. And the lady, I couldn't understand the lady. I was moving all over the place in the table. And I said, "Don't you know what is the half of one?" I said, "Oh, the belly button," because it's the same in Spanish that the half of one, la mitad de uno es el ombligo. The half of one is the belly button because it's your half. So, she was looking at me like another one, like, duh. So that was when I say to her the belly button, and she said, "Oh yeah, you want to try to be funny?" I say, "No, I just don't speak too much English, So that was a little bad of experience, but she wasn't rude. She didn't say in a rude tone. So I ended up that his aunt, who has been already 22 years in the United States, all the phone calls, I had to take care of them because she won't speak English. She was always watching these soap operas. I still saying soap operas in Spanish. Excuse me, I had to drink a little bit of my Diet Coke. And so I had to answer her phone call. And sometimes I couldn't understand the other person on the other side because I was still trying to adapt my ears to you guys speaking too fast. And So fast forward, I got this job at the National Archive Center by General Service Administration. All the New Yorkers or the people from New York can tell me this. I used to work in Long Island, what he used to call the Bayonne base. It was an army base, I believe. And you can let me know if that still exists or not. So I got my driver license because, I have my driver license from Puerto Rico, so they just have to change it. And I have to take a test, which I passed because I don't have problem reading. I didn't have any problem reading in English. So, and understanding. Because read, you can read, but understand and comprehend, that's a different thing. So, I went to work for them. And when I was working, it was a place, back then there is no computers, there is no smart camera. I mean, I'm talking to you 1979, 1980s. And photographing documents, it was done the old ways, the old cameras with the film, and then you have to develop the film. So the IRS, the income tax papers, because there was no such thing as filing online or electronically. The income tax papers have to be filmed because the place where I was working, excuse me just a moment, the place where I was working, it was filled up with income tax paper, and they was taking care of the eastern region. So you can imagine the amount of papers that they had over there. So they decided a few years before to film them up and having what is called a microfiche. You might want to Google. You have to film the document, you have to develop, and then it goes to a process that turns the document in these, I don't know what words could I say better, but you can Google microfiche. I'll try to post, if I find the definition or anything, I will post it in the description box below. But anyway, they have to do it because that warehouse, it was a fire hazard. Somebody can lit up a cigarette in there, because back then there was no such thing as no smoking on displays, or maybe they had it over there, but people weren't too obedient about it. And so they trained me to photograph this and develop the film, because I just took a photographing class in high school. By the way, when I left to the United States, I only had 1 year of college. So so they taught me how to do that, and I was doing okay, blah, 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 blah. But then they come this day, and when I was developing the film, something was wrong with the camera or something, that it wasn't focusing correctly. Okay? So when my supervisor came back from lunch, she asked me how I was doing about my production that day, because I had to do a certain number of documents per day. So I told her, hey, there was not that many people in the office, but she asked me from a little far away, and then, hey, Hilda, how was your day? And then I told her, oh, the camera has been focused correctly. She opened her eyes, and you could only see her white eyeballs on the floor. Like, what the hell you just said? Because when I came to the United States, I took this class where the guy was trying to learn Spanish, and he was trying to teach me more grammar in English and stuff like that. But I forgot that there's certain words that you don't pronounce it like the you don't pronounce it like you. In the word focus, you have to, use some other pronunciation, some other stuff anyway. So I say to her, no, the camera has been focused uh, correctly, or didn't focus correctly, and she opened up her eye because it sounded like, F you. And oh, she said, "Oh, my dear." And then she came to me. "What do you mean the camera didn't focus?" I said, "Well, focus, that you don't see the focus." And she was looking at me and she was laughing. We were laughing. No, yeah, that's not how you pronounce it. You pronounce it focus. Focus. She repeated it about 10 times to me. So next time that you have a problem, just come close to me. And if you have a problem pronunciating a word, just let me know. And she was very nice. By the way, the lady was an African American lady, my supervisor. And she was so nice with me. And oh my God, I can remember that day. The way that she opened her eyes, you could only see her eyeballs on it. Oh, my little guy is going crazy. Hold on just a moment. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I have to take care of him for a moment. So we were talking about the word focus. So I was blessed with her. She wasn't, she was a very great person. And she helped me a lot. And I don't even remember what I left that job. Probably I left it when I went to the Air Force. And that's another story, because the thing is, I'm going to give you the reason as to why I went to the Air Force, and the stuff that happened over there to me that is kind of a cartoon playbook. Because the warehouse floor wasn't level and good enough. So that's for later, for another whip and chat. So enough. I hope you have some good good laugh, I said. And we're gonna continue this. I'll probably do a whip and chat once or twice a month. About stuff in my life, so you get to know me, but I also want to know about yours. Tell me, what has been your big blunder in language, if English is your second language? Oh, this one is coming out beautiful. I love this canvas. I have to do it for the whip and chat, but I'm gonna finish it and then I'm gonna do a post review of this one. And by the way, I ordered the other 3 that has special drills on it for this one. So guys, tell me how you doing. I'm sorry I was a little kind of selfish, but it wasn't. I wanted to start the whip and chat with English blunders. Remember, chulets equal pork chops, and it's not focus, it's focus. Okay, and I keep doing it. I mean, you won't believe the one that I did when I came back to the United States in 1999. So, because I have to leave my first husband. I didn't have kids with him, so, but I owe him that, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't loosen up my English, speaking English, and I won't become a daredevil to say like chulets and focus, works like that. And wait until what happened to me when I was in the Air Force, and with some other words. And so tell me how you doing, what else we can talk about on this whip and chat. This one has gone very fast. And if you have any suggestions, just put it on the comment on the box. If no, you can get a hold of me on Instagram or Facebook. Like I said, English is my second language, but it's a matter of being nice to the other person, because nowadays, as a matter of fact, I had a bad experience in South Carolina in 2007 when I was trying to get a job to save my home, and I think that the person being in the position that it was in, and it was in the interview, really show either his racism or his lack of understanding. And I try to do my best in English. I don't mind to be corrected. Let me make myself clear. As long as you do it nicely and with love, not trying to, do it with hate, which is very common nowadays. And if you, how you say it, try to, hey, Hilda, it's not this way or that way, that sound funny, but like that supervisor, she opened up her eye because she understood that the word that I was saying sounded more like F you, not like focus, and even though I didn't say the word F you, I said fuck you, it sounds like that. So, she was very nice, and she laughed with me at that blunder, and but I don't mind to be corrected, because English is my second language. If you're learning a second language or you speak a second language, you cannot be mad when somebody corrects you. Hey, listen, it's not done this way. Worse it is, oh, look at this foreigner trying to talk my language, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is, hey, listen, and not embarrass a person in front of a whole bunch of people, neither. Just do it in a private way. And although over here in YouTube, you can correct me I cannot hear you, so you might as well send a voice message through Instagram. So Hila, this is the way that it's pronounced. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta take a sip on my Diet Coke. So, I don't mind to be corrected. Not at all. So, on another note, I wanted to announce you my new schedule. Thursday of uploading, where you're going to see my videos. For diamond painting, whether it's whip and chat, post review, unboxing, unbagging, whatever, it's gonna be Thursday, Friday, and Sundays. Paper towel is gonna be on Saturdays. Okay, that's gonna be my schedule because I want to be consistent. If you're not consistent, YouTube algorithm is gonna, mess with you. So I'm trying to be consistent, and so this is it. This is my first part. Remember, chulets equal pork chop, and it's focus, not focus. For those who speak English as a second language. I don't know how, because they didn't teach you, when I took that class, they didn't teach you how to put the mouth to pronounce the words in English. I found later, but that was later when I went to work as an auditor for the federal government. That I found this good spelling pronunciation book where they show you how to put your tongue in your mouth and whatever. But anyway, this is it. I don't want to make it too long, the whip and chats, because I don't want to bore you. I want you to start your weekend laughing at my English blunder, which it continues down this line, because sometimes you see me on my videos like fumbling the words. And it's just because I still trying to, I'm sorry, my COPD is flaring up. I think I'm going to need a new medication. So, they, I lost my train of thoughts. Oh, I keep fumbling nowadays, and it's because I'm trying to speak as fast as you, which I shouldn't. People have told me that I shouldn't. But I have been blessed, the first time and even the second time I came over here, I just thought after the 2,000 people became like hateful. I don't know. I mean, you gotta understand, at least you should appreciate that person trying to learn your language. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't make fun of them in a bad way. You can laugh together, and it's not what you said, it's how you do it, especially on this thing about second languages. Because let's say I try to start learning French and I make a whole bunch of blunders, and somebody tell me, no, this is the way that you pronounce blah, 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 blah. Well, that's okay with me, because, I'm in the mode of learning. And by the way, I'm a lifelong learner, so I don't mind. Like I said, I still making fumbles, maybe because of my condition too, my COPD when it flares up like today. And, but, So thank you for watching. This was kind of, I don't want to do my whip and chats too long, so, I hope you have a good laugh. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I have, besides this craft, I have another craft. I'm not planning to switch that craft soon because I'm finding a whole bunch of interesting prints to make it as a paper tool. Plus you can use other items where you can use the print, glue it to it, and then raise the item to 3D. So, but we will do that eventually in the channel. Remember, paper tool craft is on Saturdays, and if you don't know about this craft, I'm finding the last video, which is gonna be posted tomorrow, Saturday. Well, I'm doing this video on Wednesday. Well, it's going to be posted on Saturday. This is going to be posted on Friday. When I'm finding ways to do it faster without damaging the bottom prints. Because remember, you use between 6 and 7 prints. So it's a forgiving craft, You can, if you at the end product you don't like it, you can take all the pics apart and and you can kind of cut or scrap the silicone and put it back together. So, or if you don't like a particular piece how it came out, you can do that. I've done that afterwards. So if I seen something that is wrong, but I had the whole series. The first 3 videos are long because I gotta show you every step of the way. So But if you still have any question, feel free to ask them, and feel free to contact me through my email, Facebook page, or Instagram. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon. I'm gonna keep continuing this one, and for a little while, because I'm doing the one from St. Valentine's Day from A Diamond Painting Company, which I want to do a post review. So until then, have a wonderful day, enjoy your weekends, and see you next time. Love and peace.